following program on Ada Derana 24 is classified for general audience. It is intended for all ages. It contains little or no violence, no strong language, and little or no sexual dialogue or situations.
Good evening. You're joining the Business Best, a platform for the best in the business and an opportunity for you to connect with veterans, entrepreneurs from various industries. And today is very interesting. We have a leading software solution provider for cinema exhibitors with us. So this is CINE Sync, and we have the founder, Ruchira Pathirana. Ruchira, warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being on our show today.
Thank you. Great to be here. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So Ruchira, let's start our chat with your introduction. So I wouldn't want to ask you to talk about yourself because I've read a lot about you.
Okay,
so
thank you.
Let's start with this. What made you become an entrepreneur? And who are you? Okay, a background of yourself?
I initially, so from the age of 18, I've been kind of started working all the way to started working. And then towards 20, I think when I was about 23, I thought I should start my own company because there was something in me that I figured out that I can do much better with what I think is true and what is feasible. So 2020, after about 3, 4, 5 years, I started building another company. It's a tech company, so it's a service-based business that we produce bespoke solutions. So in 2014, we started that company, and then that's how I came across the product CINE Sync as well. So that was my journey as an entrepreneur, and obviously what I think is that I could do a lot better, or sometimes I could do a lot of innovation by producing what I think is right. Mm-hmm. And then right now, having worked with so many customers, I've understood there are things that people can actually use, and I want to keep on building that. That's what I came across the product, and then that's where the journey begins.
Okay, so were you in the IT field from the beginning?
Correct.
Or?
Yep.
Yes, you were into IT. And then what's the story behind why is CINE Sync? So this is a very special software because we see software solutions which cater to many industries like the hospitality, hospitals, healthcare sector, the government institutions. But why the cinema?
Yeah.
Why were you so passionate about it?
So basically, it was obviously it's a niche market product. Yeah. Uh-huh. So 2016, 2014, we actually built a product called FII, which was later called 444 by Dialogue. So they acquired it. And so that was my initial the knowledge that I got in terms of ticketing and aggregator kind of model. Okay. And 2016, we got our first MVP of the CINE Sync was launched with Scope Cinemas in Sri Lanka. Mm-hmm. And then 2018, we actually moved to one of our corporate clients, actually, because we're a software development company. So one of our corporate clients, a tech company, got a contract with one of the largest cinemas in France. Mm-hmm. And that's how we kind of evolved the product. And 2021, we thought after the pandemic, so the pandemic kind of changed a lot of things, how we think and things like that. So 2021, we actually relaunched the product, as in started building the product to become
2021.
2021, yeah.
Even during the pandemic.
It was our corporate client, so it was still going on. Okay. By 2021, we thought we were going to make it a SaaS, software as a service, and we launched our first client in 2021 for the SaaS. And then afterwards, it was more likely acquiring clients in different countries. So right now we are in about 13 plus countries, and I'll probably have another 2 or 3 countries adding up to the list within the next few months.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's been quite a journey.
Yes. Okay. So what is this solution? Let's talk about the service you provide through this solution.
Right. So a CINE Sync is a solution that is being used by the cinema exhibitors. So basically starting with as on site. So when you go to a cinema as a consumer, you'll probably you buy a ticket and probably buy food and beverages and buy merchandise and things like that. But in Sri Lanka, how it works a little different than to other countries. So what we sell is a complete solution. So when a customer walks in, when they buy the ticket on site or at a kiosk or even online through the web, the mobile apps or through another third-party reseller, it's all our solution. And also on top of that, we also have signage solutions. You have TV screens in the background, you have kitchen operations, you have kitchen displays, the restaurant part of it. Like places like in the US, you got a lot of like entertainment centers that has bowling alleys. It's not just a cinema. Even you might have 10 screens, and then you might have bowling alleys, you might have gaming centers, to all of that. So it's a whole ecosystem that we built to kind of to do their work or sell their inventory to the customer. So there's a whole bunch of different features of the software that kind of caters to this requirement. Yeah.
So it's like a holistic approach you have altogether.
Yeah, we never started off like that.
I haven't seen something like this in Sri Lanka. So when you started with Scope Cinemas, was it the same, or was it just a part of it?
It was a very preliminary level MVP. It's a minimum viable product. And then the French company came in that became a little larger. But now we serve a larger customer base in different countries. So obviously their demands are completely different. In the US especially, the demands are, it's about what feature that they can give it to their customer, rather, when most of the sales are online, 80-90% sales are online. So how can they come in and manage their queue when they come in? When you order a food item, how do you process that if everyone comes in together? So things like that. Yeah, so there's a lot of data, there's a lot of intelligence that is required to kind of provide that kind of outcome to that customer base. So that's, it's been challenging.
So you're truly redefining the way you do things in the cinema.
Some of them
you're working with your international
customer base.
Would you like to mention your international clients
I have a lot
as well?
we have a decent number of customers. We are in North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Middle East and Asia. So we're more focusing on the North America and the European customer base at the moment. Because the others will follow once that happens.
Okay, lovely.
Because the demands are as such.
Demand is growing.
Yes, correct.
Yes. So, Ruchira, as entrepreneurs are watching us, they would like to know why this particular market and what made you so inspired and passionate about this market. How should they select their niche? It's a niche, right? So how should they do that, being an entrepreneur?
So basically, I have worked with a lot of entrepreneurs. Some of them I've seen, they just know what the idea they want to build, and they find a way to kind of get the required funding, or they find right partners to work with, and then somehow get through it and become successful. But what has worked for me is probably a little different. I knew what I'm doing. I come from the software background. So I've had that company. I've been developing software for the last 15 years, even though I'm not a coder. So that with all of that stuff, when I found our first customer, that was like the call that I wanted to kind of make. Okay, that's a niche market requirement. What's the market research? We did a market research and figured out what kind of a competition that is out there.
Okay.
And then little by little we started kind of moving into the foreign customer base once we established a certain portion of it. So it's not what I would tell you. What I can tell anybody is, it's not like today, tomorrow you can't kind of get there. You can, but consistency, dedication, perseverance, that has to be there. So I think over time you will be successful, but you got to hang in there. So that's what I think is the most crucial thing. It doesn't matter whether it's a crazy creative idea, or even if it's something that is already there that you're trying to re-innovate, which mine is probably sounds a re-innovation, but you got to stay there.
You need to get the ball rolling.
Correct.
You need to start somewhere.
Correct.
Okay, lovely. So, Ruchira, coming back to your software, what are the features you have? So, when I was going through your website, it was very comprehensive. It had all the information anyone needs. So, let's talk about why is it important for a cinema to have such software? So, is it really like a necessity?
Correct. That's a good question. I would say before the pandemic, it was different for cinemas or movie theaters, but after the pandemic, it has completely changed. So right now, it's about. I'll give you an example. There was a lot of seats before at a theater, at least out of the country. There was 200 seats, 300 seats at a theater. But now they're actually changing that to an experience. You're not coming to the cinema to watch a movie. You kind of come there as an event. You have a better seating arrangement. You have food selection. You want to have drinks, to all of that. So, because a lot of dining theaters.
It's like a mini hotel when
Correct.
you go in, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And also in the US, you got drive-in theaters, so that open up for summer.
Okay.
So you go with the family in a car and you get out and watch a movie. It's an experience center rather than just watching a movie. You can do that on Amazon Prime or Netflix or whatever. You can buy the latest movie on that. Yeah, so it's more of an experience so that's why the new technology is required for cinemas to kind of carry out those kind of operations, sell out their inventory faster, sell out their concessions or even restaurants, the whole operation. So that's why softwares like ours and new softwares are required for them to kind of run, and adaptability is also important for them. Because those are very old operations, the cinema. So they're changing. The softwares also has to keep up with that.
Okay. So today we are in conversation with Ruchira Patirana, and he's the founder of CINE Sync. And CINE Sync is redefining the software solutions in the cinema industry. I'll see you after the break. Welcome back, and you're joining the Business Best, and we have Ruchira Patirana, the founder of CINE Sync, with us. Ruchira, coming back to your software solution, and as I mentioned earlier, I went through your website and saw a lot of features that you have on this software. I'm pretty sure that you started small, but it 100%. Grew up to this level. Let's talk about these amazing features. So, to mention some, you had CINE Stand for self-service kiosk, CINE Point, CINE Mobile, CINE Web, my God.
Products, yeah.
Yes, let's talk about it.
So obviously nowadays, if you have to have those solutions to kind of, if a cinema chain wants to come in, they probably have a lot of operations. They might have millions of sales in numbers. So you need to have those elements to the software. So obviously we didn't have everything when we started off. But little by little, with the demand, we obviously built all those kind of online channels. So it's an omni-channel approach that we have in the software.
Okay.
So apart from that, we prioritize on customer recurrence by doing loyalty programs, memberships, and subscriptions. Like, I don't think in Sri Lanka it still exists. Like movie passes, you kind of charge on like a monthly basis. You pay a fee. And then you can watch unlimited movies anytime you want. That kind of, so those.
That's not in Sri Lanka yet.
Exactly. So
any plans to introduce it to Sri Lanka?
We're not exhibitors. So we are basically, we can provide it as a software, but it's obviously the cinemas or the theater circuits has to kind of decide. Yeah.
Okay.
And then on top of it, you have variety of different features. Like a lot of people does a lot of merchandising. Like if there are cinemas in other countries that people kind of buy something online and they just come and pick it up, like you take away, because they're not coming to the theater, but they're coming to order their food. They like the food. So that operation is also happening at the cinema.
That's your kitchen and bar operation.
Correct. So the restaurant part of it. Restaurant is completely, but it's the operation of the cinema. This brand is the same, everything the same. So we have to make sure that all those features kind of work together to provide that experience to the customer, as well as cinemas to manage it easily. So that's what we provide as service. There's a whole bunch of solutions in our platform. If I have to go dig in one by one.
That's a lot, yes. Yeah. And even you have this back solution to provide support with the back office operations as well, right?
Correct.
Let's talk about that.
So what we offer, we are software service. So we are just predominantly worrying about the usability of the software or anything that happens on the software end.
Okay.
So if the customer requires a certain training, or the customer requires some kind of, let's say, a support with something that they can't do, then we have the support center supporting that. But if you ask me whether we manage the operation, we don't. So we will stick to what we know how to do it, and then let them do the rest of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Right. Okay. So Ruchira, what strategies have been the most effective in terms of scaling your business? I'm pretty sure that you must have faced like a lot of challenges.
Correct.
Might have faced a lot of challenges. So what are the techniques that you've used so far? If you can share some.
Yeah. What I think is, first of all, we want to make sure that when we speak to a customer, we have the marketing material we have to make it seamless, or more that experience of the customer looking at our product should be great. So that's the first thing. So our user experience on all our products are kind of very high standard compared to the rest of the industry. So that was a key selling point for us.
Okay.
So when the customer sees our product, even go to the website, even the competitors have given us comments like, wow, you guys this looks fancy. So that's a start point. Yeah. It starts from there. And then when we explain the solution, they kind of feel like, oh, okay, they have what they say that they have. And that has been helpful. What we did, we recently started, within the last 1.5 years, we've been going to different exhibitions last month we were in Barcelona. April we were in Vegas. So we've been going to different events that is to do with the industry.
Okay.
And that also helped us a lot with the credibility part of it, because until then it was kind of, some website online and a business address, and this is what it is. So now you put faces to this, that kind of gives more confidence to the organization. So that has also helped us in our efforts. I would say you should think of where you can capture the way that you can easily capture the customers, whether it's the website, whether it's online marketing, or even calls, or even
networking events.
You can do a whole bunch of things. We have tried everything and also failed big and learned it.
Okay, and you walk the talk, and that consistency took you there.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Would you like to mention your partners as well?
So thank you. We also have a global team. So we have teams in the US, France, UK. I'm also mostly in the UK, and we also have Germany and Sri Lanka. So most of our development work happens in Sri Lanka. Our partners, we have all the industry leading partners. We have to have them, because otherwise we can't take our customers on board.
Yes.
So they have different reporting partners. They have the third-party softwares. Even seatings are configured to the software sometimes, that you can control your seats from how the screening works. So there's a whole bunch of different type of partners that we work with, and we have to work with them. Otherwise, we can't sell out software to the large corporates anyway.
So to do these amazing things, I'm pretty sure that you have a versatile team with you.
Correct. So
What's your team like? Let's talk about your...
Right, thank you. So as I told you, we have a larger team with the software company of ours. So that's been the main thing for us to kind of build whatever that this requires, because we've been building so many different software for different people. So we have a knowledge in different industries and how it works. So we kind of use that to kind of build CINE Sync. When a customer requires something, we do that. So our team is very capable of handling different type of requirements, even though sometimes we are not being in the cinema. We don't run a cinema, but we understand it because we have worked with different type of customers and understand what the outcome is. So it's been very easy for us to kind of build something. CINE Sync, our team is very capable. Some of the top team, we have also picked our internal company. We have picked the top teams to be on CINE Sync. Even we have partners from different countries that we have worked on certain software projects. So these are very top talented team that we currently have, and I think that has been one of my greatest strengths of achieving what we have achieved so far. Within 1.5 years, so we've been from 2-3 countries to 15 countries. So it's quite a journey.
Okay. And if anyone is interested in collaborating with you, can they do that?
Yeah, for sure.
How should they do that?
Would like to go to our website, cinesync.io, and send us a contact inquiry. I think there's a drop down on the email on the website. We'll get in touch.
Okay. So what aspects make CINE Sync unique, the
Right.
best among the rest?
Okay. I think most of the key selling point for us is the user experience for the exhibitor employees or the staff, as well as their customers. And the second biggest selling point for us is the adaptability and willing to do modifications, because every cinema operation has its own way of running operations. So we built the software in a way that we can customize it according to their requirements, their process and things like that. So that has been one of the main second selling point, and then we're very competitive on that pricing, having that flexibility. So that has been the main 3 points if I have to kind of highlight to you.
So Ruchira, what do you think the future holds for the software industry? What's the future like in the software industry?
So it's going to be very competitive with AI and machine learning coming into the picture. But obviously, it's like those days when computers came in, people thought, okay, my job is going to... No, there is going to be other things that you can do. But it's going to be very competitive. There's going to be smaller players who will come up with a lot of new innovations, like how we entered the market. But what I believe is, at least for Sri Lanka, has a big potential to kind of... if you have a great idea, and if you know if you can launch, not to build the whole product the way you think what it should be, at least launch a minimum viable product or a proof of concept, and then go to the next stage, acquire some customers, bring your cash flow. That's great. So there's big potential in Sri Lanka because we have a lot of talented individuals in Sri Lanka. Unfortunately, the IT industry has a big potential of leaving the country. There's that brain drain happening in Sri Lanka. But I think you still have a lot of opportunities in Sri Lanka, and you're home. You're in your country. So I think the software industry, if we have the right teams, there's a big potential in Sri Lanka. And software in general will evolve. Obviously, things will become easier. What you think now is big will become easier in the future. But there'll be newer things that needs to come in to kind of mitigate that or to build that. So potential of software is always good, and I don't think there's a foreseeable future. I don't think there's a risk for the software industry at all, anywhere in the world.
It is ever so growing.
Correct.
Right. So thank you very much, Ruchira. It was lovely having you today. I wish you all the very best with all your innovations, and that was a great message. Start small and be consistent. Thank you very much, Ruchira. So I wish you all the very best in your future endeavors. Do more and do more innovations. And it was a great message you had. Start small and be consistent.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here on this program. And good luck. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Today we had CINE Sync with us, the founder of CINE Sync, Ruchira Papirana. And if you couldn't watch this program, you can watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/Derana English. I'll see you next week with a promising discussion. Have a pleasant evening.